Hi everyone, my name is Sara Maddox and I will be doing the Teach Your Peers assignment. This is for the Social and Cultural Influences class, so let's get started. So my first theory that I signed up for was the intersectionality theory. This theory was coined by Kimberly Crenshaw in around 1989, and it was the intersectionality theory. It was published in a paper called Demarginalizing the Intersection of Race and Sex. So, this is essentially a framework that examines how factors such as race, gender, class, sexuality, and disability, how those impact and kind of shape one's life. Because of this, and because of the discrimination that kind of comes with these factors for a lot of people and a lot of individuals, Kimberly Crenshaw kind of highlighted the importance of how these factors intersect and how the effects of those can change based on how they intersect and the environment that you are in. A key, note or factor that plays into this theory is that it is very important to understand that not one single person can experience life or any of these factors in a common way, if that makes sense. Each experience is unique because of the factors and the categories and groups that they are kind of put into because of these factors. So, race, gender, class, sexuality, and disability. Um, the ultimate goal in this theory and in developing this idea was to allow more effective understanding and communication and collaboration with all individuals in the workplace and also in classrooms or in any kind of organization. So how does this connect with me professionally and with what I do? So, currently, I'm a fourth grade math teacher, but I am in the school counseling program. So, this is obviously very important to me, and it affects not just me, but every student that I truly ever come into contact with. And I think it's important to note that as an educator and as someone in a school environment, we come into contact with so many different types of individuals who identify with so many of these groups or factors. So it's important to understand that while students face discrimination every day, we need to understand the deeper reason and also understand that not one single student or individual can fit into a group, but rather they are a collection of everything that they identify with, and the you know discrimination or the stereotypes that come with that are very unique to that person. And so understanding you know how to communicate effectively with them based on who they are as an individual and how they see the world and how they interact with these groups or classifications that they identify with. Lastly, I think it's highly important to understand this idea and understand that, again, no one group or factor defines a person, individual, or a student. But I think, again, understanding this really kind of paves the way for some clarity where there is a lot of complexity in students and their lives and how they interact with not just us as educators, but with each other. Next is the symbolic interactionism theory. This theory aims at explaining how individuals seek shared meaning through symbols. So, in our everyday lives, especially within our culture, we have specific symbols that symbolize so many things. So whether that be a hug or a wedding ring, a high five, a thumbs up, all of those things are specific to the culture that you live in and that you identify with. This theory really highlights that symbols are essentially how we make sense of the world and the society that we live in. but also our society that we, view and that we choose to find ourselves in is made up of the symbols that we put into it, if that makes sense. Um, these symbols can both be verbal and nonverbal, and it's just important that we teach and understand what these symbols mean and how they affect our communication. The connection to my professional development with this theory is being in the classroom, and also, again, um, as I'm pursuing a master's degree in the school counseling program, that's also highly important. I think this is important more so for students as well, as we obviously symbolize so many things in the classroom. One being like small groups that we put students in. Something as simple as that can be extremely powerful, but also possibly problematic as we kind of, set that standard for them. And that is something that they symbolize as kind of how smart they are, or how far their abilities can take them. So I think this is especially important for educators to understand, and specifically for them to understand the importance and the significance of the symbolism that we are addressing or that we are reflecting in our classroom. So, in conclusion, both theories highlight the importance of social interaction and the effects of such, and sometimes they can be detrimental, but I think it's also highly important to understand these theories and their consequences in an educational setting. So, thank you.